it's me again. No wig, but it's me again. So I said on Saturday I was going to show you how to make chicken and waffles because 100% of you, minus 4 people, said they wanted to know how to make chicken and waffles. So we are going to make chicken and waffles. Now, normally chicken and waffles is made usually like this, like it's actual chicken pieces. I don't like doing chicken pieces. I like doing the chicken breast because, I don't know, I just have this thing about like ripping meat off of the bone or whatever. So I'm gonna make it with the chicken breast and it's still gonna be just as delicious. So we're gonna start with a chicken breast that we are going to pound the bejeebers out of pieces and then give gifts of 2 rolling pins to your friends. Now we're just gonna hit this, make it nice and thin, but not like super, super thin, just like, I don't know, maybe ½ an inch thick. I'll show you in a second. Let's start. Take out all of your frustrations about the lockdown on your chicken. Okay, so I'm taking it out of my bag now, and you can see, it's not like super thin, but it's clearly a lot larger than it was. Gonna put it into a Ziploc, and then with this is the key to making this super delicious. Leave it for 30 minutes. Do not leave it for any longer than 30 minutes because then it goes all weird and strange and scary. And trust me, the flavor this thing will absorb in that 30 minutes is going to be insane. So 30 minutes and then we'll be back. You are going to marinate it in pickle juice. Pick whatever pickle juice you want. I don't care. This is a new jar, so now half of my pickles are going to be non-submerged, but whatever. We're just gonna have to deal with that. So pour in some pickle juice, zip it up, and we are going to get together our coating. Starts with 1 egg and ½ cup of milk that I have beat the bejeebers out of in here. If you have a pretty design on the bottom of your pie plate, don't do it in there because then otherwise you'll end up ruining it. So do it in a bowl first. So put your chicken breast into a plastic bag, get yourself a rolling pin. This is totally just a doweling I bought from Home Depot because anybody need to spend like $40 on a friggin' rolling pin when you can just go spend $5 on a doweling, cut it into 3. So this recipe is loosely based on a Chick-Fil-A Copy Cat chicken sandwich. Yeah, their chicken sandwich. That's where I got this from, except I just kind of add this and that here and there just to make it for me. So while this is sitting here marinating, as I said, no more than 30 minutes, we're going to use onion powder. The reason I'm using onion powder instead of garlic powder is because my husband is deathly allergic to garlic powder. So I just load up on the onion powder instead. This is all based on your taste. If you like onions, put more onion powder in. If you don't like pepper, don't put pepper in. If you want spice, a lot of crunchy sea salt and black pepper. This is pepper that I am that person. I go ahead and grind it all up just in my food processor and then I put it into a container so I don't have to sit there going for an hour and a half to get that much pepper. So I've got my little breading bowl here, or whatever you want to call it. It's just a casserole. So we're going to start with a big old scoop of flour. I don't know, if you want to measure it out, I'm going to say about a cup of flour. Then I'm obsessed with salt, so we are going to put something else in. Have fun with it. Okay, then we are going to move on. Icing sugar. I know, it's totally weird, right? Put like maybe about 2 tablespoons of icing sugar. This is just going to help with coloring and add some extra flavor. Now, the most important thing is smoked paprika. I know I've talked about this before. Smoked paprika is just red pepper. See that? It's just sweet red peppers that have been ground up into a powder, dehydrated and ground up, and then it's smoked. It seems like such a simple thing. Normal paprika is like, whatever. Smoked paprika adds so much effing flavor to everything. To eggs, to this meal, to potatoes, to anything you want. I happen to love this stuff, so we are going to go to town putting lots of smoked paprika in there. Then we're gonna mix this up. And remember, we're cooking here, we're not baking. So if you don't like something, don't put it in. If you don't like pepper, don't put pepper in. If you want more of this, put this in. If you want oregano in, put oregano in. Who cares? Have fun. Put more of something in, put less of something in. You don't need to follow this recipe exactly. I got 2 cups of flour already in here. I've got a teaspoon of salt. I have 4 teaspoons of baking powder. Remember, we had our baking powder lesson last week. Do not use baking soda. Baking powder, I'm using double acting. Then we're gonna add some sugar in. Yes, even though it's a savory waffle we're using this for, I'm still putting in some sugar because, I don't know, it's an American recipe, so I feel like there just needs to be extra sugar or extra fat. And then we've got 1½ cups of milk here and 2 eggs. Now the eggs, I've always say, make sure you crack them in. And now let's prepare the waffles. Waffles for this do not need to be anything special. If you have a favorite waffle recipe, use that favorite waffle recipe. This is the one I'm going to be using. I've been using for years. It's actually called Megan's Waffles that I found from the internet. So thanks, Megan. So bowl first, because if you crack them into here and then you get the eggshell in there, then you put this in here, then you put this in there, y'all gonna have crunchy waffles. Yes, you want crunchy waffles, but you don't want crunchy eggshell waffles. So crack it in here first, then you can see an eggshell if you get it in there and take it out. It's just not necessary because you're gonna be flipping the chicken anyway. That being said, always have your lid right next to what you're cooking, just in case for some reason Jesus is like, boom, and lights it on fire. You can just go poof and put it out. Never, for the love of God. Knife over here so you can see there's like literally barely any oil in there. So that's maybe like 3/4 of an inch, half an inch. You do not need to fill this entire thing with oil. Aside from that being a super fire hazard and you might die, we are also gonna get ourselves some oil. Yes, this is my crusty oil from the other day. Those are just the delicious brown bits from my last recipe. So I'm leaving them in there. You don't need a lot of oil. Let me see, let me get a... Never, ever, ever throw water onto hot oil, because you'll regret it. Get your waffle iron heated up. First before the chicken. I don't really know why. I have no reason. It's just the way I'm doing it. Make sure you whisk your eggs into your milk first, and also whisk your dry ingredients because you want to make sure that your salt and particularly your baking soda is well combined. And then we are going to combine this and this and boop into there. Thermometer or something you can measure this with, then you want to go to about 350 degrees. I should mention you also want to start heating up your dirty ass oil. If you don't have a thermometer, you're looking to put it at about, I'd say, medium to medium low heat. I will show you what you're looking for as soon as this comes up to temperature. Ideally, if you have we're gonna cook the waffles now. Every time I cook waffles, every single time I cook waffles, I overflow the bejeebers out of it. Really super annoying. I don't know why. I'm incapable of putting in less batter than is required. So I feel like that's going to happen today, but don't worry about it. As long as you have a husband or whatever to clean it up afterwards, you'll be good. Also, if you don't have a waffle iron, I super suggest you get one. They are incredible and they are so amazing for not just breakfast, but savory meals like these. You can get them as cheap as I've seen them for $20 at Zehrs. And then you can also get ridiculous overpriced ones like this that someone bought me as a gift that I'm still not sure why I needed all these bells and whistles when I can't seem to cook a proper waffle. Let's do this one hand. I got my little ice cream batter waffle scoop. Gonna open this up. This has already been just sprayed with some cooking spray. And like I said, I totally know I'm gonna end up overflowing this. There it is! Every time! Jesus Lord. But whatever. And this is gonna make way more waffles than I need, but waffles freeze incredibly well. Oh, maybe I won't screw this up. We'll see. Oh no, I feel like it's already screwing up. Well, we'll see if shortly it starts bursting out the sides, because that's usually where it comes. Now, if I had any brains, I'm saying any brains, aside from just putting less batter in there, which I never seem to learn from, I'd probably put like a piece of paper towel down there or wax paper or something, so I don't have to clean all that up afterwards, but no brains. And our oil, we are about, well, just under halfway there. Don't get me wrong, all these ridiculous gadgets I have been collecting these since I was like 10 years old. Not this particular one, but I have been kitchen obsessed since I was a kid, and every time I ever get an ounce of money, I somehow spend it on some sort of ridiculous kitchen gadget like this. My parents had to know I was gay, or at least have an inkling, because I'm the only 12-year-old that asked for a food processor, specifically a KitchenAid food processor. I was 12 in grade 7, and I still have it, and it still works great. Oh, the waffles! Okay. Looks like a disaster here, but let's see how it turned out. Ooh! Just pull that off. Oh, come on. Don't do this to me! Okay, thank God. There we go. So there's our delicious waffle. My next waffle's in, as you can see. But I did wise up. Look who put some parchment paper down. Not that there isn't already a huge mess to clean up, but it's a little less. Okay, we've got the chicken out. I'm not gonna bother drying it because I'm sticking it right into the flour. I'm gonna put it into the flour before you put it into the egg, because if you don't, then the egg's not gonna stick to it, so you're not gonna end up getting a delicious, yummy, crusty batter. You can dry this if you want. It's totally up to you, but I just think it's best if you just dump it right in the flour, push it in, press it in there, get it into every single little nook and cranny, and then shake it off. See how enormous that is? It's not from any liquid batter. It is just from going back and forth, back and forth. And we're gonna do this one more time, and then we're gonna check our oil. So back into the egg again. This is gonna be for 2 people. I cannot eat this entire thing. Then we're gonna put it in our egg mixture. Again, make sure you get it completely coated, and back into the flour. This is how you get all those little delicious crunchy bits that you see on fried chicken. Okay, chicken is all deliciously breaded. I've done 3 coats. Oil is nice and hot. I'm going to say, don't be an idiot like I'm going to and film while you're putting this in. You should really focus on what you're doing, but I'm gonna do that for you guys. So in goes the chicken. Now we are going to cook this probably only about 4 or 5 minutes till it is a nice, delicious golden brown. And then flip it halfway through, which I'm not at the halfway point, but oh God, fried chicken, like, is there anything better? Seriously. While the chicken is frying, yes, please, for the love of God, pay attention to it and do not walk far away from it. Oh, more waffles. You're gonna wanna get your hot sauce of choice. I'm using Frank's, of course, and get your syrup. Yes, syrup. You can use honey if you want, but yes, you have to use that on this, otherwise you're not gonna get the flavor. Don't even look at me like that. Girl, you have not even tried it. So you need to try it first, and then you can tell me how delicious it is. It's probably just me, but I'm convinced if your waffle maker doesn't look like this after you're done with it, you did something wrong. Oh, are you ready for this? Okay, let's start by turning off the heat. And then we're gonna take out our, oh my God, do you remember how small this chicken breast was and how enormous it is now? It is the size of the waffle. Ladies and gentlemen, that is how you want it done. Look at that. And here is my hand for reference. Now let's go over here and we'll get our hot sauce and our syrup. And then syrup, you can use honey if you want. I've seen that being used a lot of times. You're just gonna load that syrup all over there. Don't ask me why I'm fat during quarantine or any other time of the year. I already know. But look at that. And look how, okie dokie. I cut it in half already because hubby's gotta have some when he gets home. You're gonna put on your hot sauce. Again, you don't even need hot sauce. If you don't want hot sauce, don't put it on. But it's basic. Oh, I'm not even filming it. It's basically a huge part of this. Juicy the chicken is. That's the vinegar. It acts almost as a brine, so it makes it so delicious and juicy. Anyway, I have to go eat now because... Reminder, leftover waffles freeze beautifully, as do pancakes and French toast. Sorry, one last thing. Can you hear this? No, not me having an orgasm. I mean the crunchiness of the chicken. Oh.